Actors are annoying anyway. All that calling each other darling. Start her up.
Yes, darling.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream session of the Mirabin UK Film Awards. My name is Manari. I'm the festival director and founder of the Mirabin UK Film Awards. And today we have Jarrah Marchio from Australia. I'm so excited about this film, Shüllbit, and it's shortlisted for Best Comedy Short. It's a story about two art curators who accidentally destroy billion-dollar valued abstract painting, and they try to cover up their mischievous mistake, trying to save it before the art exhibition begins. Thank you so much for being with us, Jarrah. I'm really looking forward to discuss this story with you. And please do share with us, first of all, how this idea came to your mind. If you have any background in art curation yourself, any related experience that might have just brought you to bring these stories to life.
Yeah, so Shüllbit came about as a combination of necessity and also just from my own experiences from taking art in high school. I don't have any experience in curating, unfortunately, nothing exciting like that. But basically, I was in my final year of film school at university, and I knew that I wanted to pitch a project. I just didn't have an idea. And I was desperate for one, and I was in a bit of a panic, to be honest. And I'm not even sure how my mind suddenly kind of popped onto this. It was partly a combination of a joke I once made with a friend of mine, and then just recalling this memory of when I was in high school taking art. And one of my friends, the teacher was coming around and asking each of us like the story and the meaning behind each of our artworks. And my friend didn't have one. And she invented this lie on the spot. And not only did my art teacher buy it, but she loved it. And she even stopped my friend and said, "Oh, you don't have to say anything more," because I just immediately understood. And that always just stuck with me because it was hilarious just witnessing that. It sounds like something out of a comedy script, but it was real life. And it made me just, think about the fact that when, you're in that space of like modern art, when everything's open to interpretation, like there's a lot of wackiness and silliness that kind of arises from that. And so I thought it was going to be a really fun sort of area to explore in a comedy short.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. And definitely, a lot of people, especially, for example, one of our jurors' husband, he's a painter. And we had more than once discussion about how contemporary paintings, contemporary art, the kind of direction it's taking. And to the point that there are all sorts of jokes about it on social media as well. And that's immediately, people would watching this film would definitely feel a connection, or they will be reminded of something that they've seen. And so when it comes down to the couple, the actors that you chose, can you share a little bit more about the casting? Because everyone seems so, perfect in their role. And obviously comedy, sometimes you do go a little bit over the top, but that's sort of requested in this case by the story itself. So how did you, deliver the story to your actors, and how did you choose them?
So I'm really glad you asked, because working with the cast was one of the working with the cast and working with the crew were easily the best parts of this project. Sophia, our wonderful lead actress, I've worked with her several times before. I met her in my second year of film school. We worked together on a little drama short, actually, and she was just brilliant. And originally, I thought I was probably going to be developing a drama, but then I worked with her on a comedy also in second year, and she was great at that too. And so I absolutely wrote Shüllbit with her in mind. There was one other actor who I also had in mind when I was writing it, and I feel so lucky that we actually secured him. And that's Sandro, who plays the role of Augustus, and Augustus van Guggenheim in the film. And he has such a sort of flamboyant flair, and it was perfect for like the farcical kind of tone that we were going for. Dimitri, who plays Eric, the male lead, I met in auditions, and he's just absolutely lovely to work with. And he and Sophia have a long-standing friendship, so they had excellent chemistry with each other. And I have to give a massive shout out to both our producer Amy and also our casting director Christy, because they did a fantastic job finding all of the background talent, working with all of those guys. They were fantastic. Again, it was one of the most rewarding parts of the story. And I remember there was a moment when we had them all on set, and I basically told them, I walked them through the whole script, because I wanted them to know, the story that they were doing. I didn't want them to just come in, do their part and leave, and everyone seemed to just have so much fun with it, and that's all that I really wanted. So yeah, it was a lot of hard work from Christy and Amy finding excellent cast, and yeah, just going through auditions and everything and choosing the people that I felt had great chemistry with each other and also good chemistry with me as a director as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Carlo, do you want to jump in and ask some questions about this?
Thank you, Jay. Yes, actually, I really appreciated the wardrobe, the outfits of everybody, especially the people in the background. It really felt like you managed to use that as a vehicle to bring in more art, or at least more references to art.
Yeah.
And that was a great idea. Did you have that in mind when you wrote the script, or is that something that came in later on? And how did you get that idea to use the wardrobe as an added value?
Yeah. Thank you so much for noticing. That's one of my favorite details about the film, actually. It was something, I'm not sure when I had the idea. I would say it was probably after the script was written, but I'm the kind of person and the kind of director who I'm always thinking across different departments. How can I, help contribute to the story? And I think it was just bouncing ideas off our cinematographer, Jamie. And we thought the more art references we can pack, the more that we can make this film a little bit of an ode to the art community, as much as it is a little bit of a piss take as well. We wanted to try and sort of do that. And so I had the idea of, as you may have noticed, like some of the people in the costumes are dressed as famous paintings. Some are more obvious than others. And we always wanted the visual style of Shüllbit to be very vibrant. So as for the rest of the background talent who didn't necessarily have a direct reference, we just wanted to make their wardrobes as flamboyant and creative and vibrant as possible. And there was actually a day that the producer and I, Amy and I, went thrift shopping and just bought a bunch of stuff to make up those costumes. So it was just, we wanted to add as many sort of visual gags as we could and just have a bit of fun. And yeah, I'm always trying to sort of think of things like that, just like I said, ways that I can contribute to visual storytelling. So yeah.
Excellent.
Very, very nice touch. I really enjoyed that part as well. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. And since we have 1 minute more, I would say it's actually my curiosity. How was, from a budget point of view, how did you raise the funding? Was that some sort of crowdfunding, or was that more of a self-investment? It's really a core question for us, because we do support independent filmmakers, and especially this year and last one has been very tough, at least in the UK and in Europe. So yes, if you want to share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it was a combination of both crowdfunding and self-funding. We received no funding from university. The things that we did receive from uni were majority of the gear. There was a lens that we hired outside of uni to get that. We wanted that really wide look, so we did hire a wide angle lens for the shoot. So yeah, total budget I think was around £4,500, about 9,000 Australian dollars. Amy and I contributed the largest proportions, and then everyone, it was a requirement at university that everyone contribute. And then we crowdfunded probably about £1,000 of that was probably crowdfunding. And otherwise we were always looking for ways to try and, you know, like do things cheaply, but in a way they'd still look good. So like the example I gave earlier, like, you know, going to thrift shops and stuff to get to source our wardrobes, and also just sourcing from what our actors already possessed. We were really determined to get a very age-appropriate group of critics. It's a common thing in film school. You just get your mates to like appear in your film, but we knew that wouldn't sell the story world. And so the idea that Amy and Christy, I think, came up with together was to offer free headshots to any of the background talent, because we wanted to give them something more than just like show reel, you know, opportunity. So yeah, it was a combination of both of those. So it was definitely in part due to just lovely generosity from family and friends, and also partly from our own bank accounts as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jarrah. All right, we are towards the end of our live stream. It's been lovely to have you here and to hear more about the making of Shüllbit. So a quick few housekeeping for our audience. You can come and watch this film at the Healing Picture House Cinema on the 13th and 14th of December, at the Melbourne UK Film Awards. You can also join us for the Industry Film Forum, where you have the chance to access mentoring, speed dating, industry panels, workshops. And don't miss the chance to watch the films in streaming. If you cannot attend from abroad, you have the chance to watch all the officially selected and finalist films on the Streamateur platform and vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award. To vote is very easy. You can just register on the platform and add the film you want to vote for to your favorite. Again, thank you so much, Jarrah, for joining us. And we look forward to share your film with our audience.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.